What up, though? Again, we're back for round two. UFC 272 is coming this weekend. Obviously, there's some other MMA news on the horizon right now. So we are coming back to give you a little bit of a finisher version of knockouts and 3 counts. Won't be quite as long as the regular shows, as we already had one today with TZ Jones before AEW Revolution this weekend. We made picks for the card, talked about the We Are One project for AEW. We talked about Cody Rhodes' influence in there. So anybody from the pro wrestling ilk, plenty of good stuff in there. But now we got some fights to talk about. But since we haven't gotten to talk about it yet, how y'all feeling about well, first of all, what are your thoughts on the TZ episode? And second of all, what are your thoughts on all this stuff with Cain Velasquez?
Ooh, well, first episode went fine. I guess this is kind of like a weird this should have definitely been two separate questions.
2 days, man. 2 days. We never stop around here.
The episode was great earlier. The news is less than great. Very unfortunate story to come out about former champ Cain Velasquez. For anyone who may not know, supposed story is that one of his children got molested, unfortunately, and he went to go deal with the attacker because the California justice system kind of fucked up, in my opinion, and allowed him out on house arrest and didn't even bother to continue up on charges. They were just basically allowing him to be out on house arrest, and as any good father would do, in my opinion, he went to go handle the business himself. It's an unfortunate thing. I really hope the best for the whole Velasquez family, and let's just hope that true justice is served in this one. There should be one person behind bars, and it shouldn't be Cain, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, man. I kind of dug into the story just to kind of see and get my facts straight. It's really unfortunate, man. But how do you blame the guy? Like, what? I mean, you can't really say that you wouldn't do it. You can't really blame him for doing it. So it's like you said, the wrong guy is behind bars right now, man. And hopefully, I understand the whole criminal justice system. I get it. Mm-hmm. You can't take justice into your own hands. I understand that, but and at the very least, hopefully they, soften the blow on him. Don't throw the book at him because, like you said, as any good father would, the dude was doing what he had to do. I
mean, I'm sure the reason why it didn't get handled this way before everything came out and he was out on house arrest and shit like that is because Cain did have some faith in the judicial system that it was going to be handled appropriately. That was not the case. You don't allow somebody like that out, whether on house arrest or whatever the case. So, in my opinion, at least, and it's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate all around because all it really does is it's like a double whammy on the Velasquez family more than it is. It hurts the other people involved and stuff like that, but really it just hurts the family even more. So it's just that much more unfortunate in my opinion.
So my thoughts on it are this. I think, at the same time, I totally understand what J-Bone was saying as far as the, we have a justice system for a reason. You can't just go doing, shit on your own. But and again, as I talked about this morning on Schwartzy's Wake and Bake, as a Christian and all those things are important to me. But at the same time, man, and I understand you can't just go shooting people. Like, I understand, like somebody else shouldn't have to, because it wasn't even the guy who did it that got shot. But let me finish my statement first. I'm not saying that guy should have got off. What I'm saying is, only thing I think Cain really did wrong is that A, he got the wrong guy, and B, chasing the guy in a car, that's never a good look. Now, that being said, again, like you said, I have a nephew now. I don't have kids of my own, but even if I did, look, dude, that's just shit you don't do. I don't know. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't say that if something like that happened to my nephew or if I ever have a niece, God forbid, dude, I'd be losing my shit too. Like, I can't say I wouldn't have done the exact same thing. So I can't say I blame Cain for what's going on. For those of you who don't know, Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight champion, was also in WWE and has been doing wrestling with AAA. You know, he is now being charged with attempted murder and a whole other slew of charges. What are your guys' thoughts?
I feel as though Dana White summed it up best with his quote. A lot of guys say if something like that was to happen, that's what they would do, and Cain did it. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I can't argue it. And that's the thing. Like I said, I'm not a guy, like, I'm not saying condone and just go out and shoot somebody, but bro, like,
Yeah.
I don't know a man alive that if it's your daughter or something like that, and what the guy's being accused of is sexually assaulting her, and they're saying it's in upwards of 100 times. Like, dude, that's pretty bad. Again, I understand not taking the law into your hands, but I also can completely understand where somebody would say they'd have a temporary insanity plea. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you got to imagine what that does to your mind, dude. Like, that just obviously takes you to places you never go. So it's like, you can't blame them. It's hard to blame them. Now, hurting innocent people, that's a whole other issue. You know, I think that should be handled correctly. But as far as, you know, what he was trying to do, what he was meaning to do, and who he was trying to do it to, like you said, how you can't blame the guy. There's no way you can blame him.
All I'm saying, you know, not to get, you know, all hood or street on the, if I got a problem with somebody and they're riding around with somebody else and somebody else is actively trying to defend the person I got a problem with, I now have a problem with those people as well. So that's just how life works, you know.
True.
And that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that what he did was wrong, but I mean, there's so many details of it that we don't know with them driving around like that too. So it's like I say, I don't condone it. I don't condone just randomly shooting somebody, but hey, man, I also can understand wanting to defend your family. But like I said, in my opinion, free Cain this way. But enough of that shit. We already talked about the big pay-per-view that we've got this Sunday in AEW Revolution, which I, for one, am really looking forward to. Like, I mean, that you can't like, again,
for anybody who may have missed the episode earlier, go ahead and go back and check that out, because we did a full breakdown of the whole card. So
it's gonna be a banger, dude, and that dog collar match is gonna be some gnarly ass shit to watch, dude. Like I said, J-Bone is coming through. We're gonna be watching.
Hey,
go ahead.
Did you guys see what Donald put up on Twitter? It was the side-by-side photo of Tommy Vendetta and CM Punk both bleeding on the white shirt. You guys catch that earlier?
No, I didn't see
that, dude. That was cool as hell, man.
Really. Shout out to Donald if you're in here. Whoever's in there, shout out in the comments. Let us know who's watching.
Talk about some things to see, or I guess to not see, really, because it wasn't all that eventful. The press conference just wrapped up shortly before the episode started. Were you guys able to check it out?
Oh yeah, dude.
I got it played to my left.
It was like high school. It was like high school. It was like, oh, you little bitch, you a liar, and that was Maritza paid for our bills, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah.
Okay, wait. So somebody explain to me, because right now on the panel you got Jorge with the briefcase with the video inside of it. The briefcase with the video. Explain this. What is this? What am I watching here?
That's the video that I had preferenced earlier in our little short before the show went live. It was, so apparently Jorge got his hands on one of these super limited edition Panini cards, or however you say the card company that does the cards for the UFC. It was one of the jersey cut signature, like super limited mint, you know, Colby Covington
that cost
card.
You way too much for a fucking card.
Yeah, it was a Colby Covington card, and I guess Jorge felt the need to take a Bic lighter to the corner of it.
Pull the page out of Floyd Mayweather's book.
set it on fire momentarily, just enough to burn Colby's face off of it, to then put it out, and now goes to put it out in a different way where it's now a one-of-one official Jorge Masvidal special edition card for sale, is what he said in the press conference. So
it's crazy.
We'll see what
somebody's actually going to buy
fetches.
that.
Yeah,
Somebody's actually going to purchase that. So
I
as dumb as it looks,
yeah,
dude's making money right now.
I'm genuinely curious what that goes for, especially because it got like the press conference buzz and all that.
Right,
like,
right.
Kathy,
what do
you say you're watching the press conference. I want to know what you think of this one. I'll give Colby this. You know, to be honest, the more George talks, I really like. I don't know how much of Colby's shit I really believe. I don't know, man. Because like
either.
sometimes I really wonder if he's piping it. But at the same time, do you
man,
guys believe in this rivalry? Not to interrupt.
I think it's a mixture of both. To be honest, I feel like the truth is really
hard.
somewhere in the middle.
It's really hard not to. I mean, because Jorge's a believable guy, right? I mean, let's be honest. Dude's from
and
the
his
street.
story hadn't changed at all. And then, like, I will say this: did you, Kathy, if you're watching, I want to know if you peeped this. But did you peep when Colby was asked to talk about when he was supposed to be released by the UFC because they were tired of his shit before he did the Damian Maia fight, and cut the promo where he was just talking all kinds of shit on Brazil? Like, and Dana stopped and he said, "What the fuck did you tell them?"
No, he didn't. He said, "I don't know exactly the case." And
no, I'm saying when he moved away from the mic, he said, "What the fuck did you tell him?"
Yeah. I mean, so
you can clearly hear it if you go back and watch. He steps away from the mic like this and goes, "What the fuck did you tell them?"
That's awesome.
I mean, if that's the case, it sounds like
because Dana was like, "I don't remember anything about it." He claims it was all Sean Shelby.
Yeah.
So
that's
it was just kind of
funny. It was all Sean Shelby.
That's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking in this rivalry, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to be talked into the fight, dude. And honestly, this was one of them. But dude, there's just something about Colby Covington. Like, he legit pisses me off. Hey, look, in wrestling, that guy
could do wrestling. I mean, he's already dabbled his feet in it with Impact.
Right. In professional wrestling, the dude is doing his best work right now by pissing me off. That's exactly what he wants me to be. But as this,
you know, the saying MMA does pro wrestling better than pro wrestling does.
Yeah, right. It's just like, dude, we'll get to the prediction part later, but like, fuck, it's like a coin flip for me right now. It's like, all right, I hate this guy, but I want to see this guy win, and this guy might not win, but I hate this guy. It's like,
well, I was looking for a way to squeeze it in anyway. So if you're saying the fight is a coin flip in your eyes, the odds are heavily in Covington's favor, man. If you're looking to potentially make a couple bucks on this, any of the viewers and stuff out there as well.
Oh, it's Masvidal by knockout all day.
Yeah, Jorge. Yeah. Well, you don't even have to go by knockout. You could just say.
Let me check the.
There's so many different.
Oh shit! People coming in the comments. Masvidal is not an elite fighter.
That's what I was talking about when we were just playing Warzone before I got in here. That's who had me on there. Mike was killing it on there with me.
Now, question.
When are you guys coming to play with me at Detroit Knockout? I let you guys know in the last episode. Damn it, that's been the gamer tag. Hey, Corey's my witness. Did me and our buddy Jesse, who sometimes pop here in the comments, did we or did we not? And Corey was involved for some of them too. We rifled off 5 of them bitches in Warzone the other day. So, hot damn it, 5 of them bitches. I call that a made up Sunday, a good Sunday, getting them dubs.
Broke ass Warzone games, fucking broke as hell.
You can't even play regular Warzone on Sunday because you can't get into anything but Rebirth. Were you guys playing regular or Rebirth?
I don't know, man.
I want to get.
First time doing this shit.
Did you get to come back, or was it one time and you're dead?
Oh no, we got to come back.
Okay, so you played Rebirth.
I'm sitting there with sweaty hands and anxiety the whole time.
Could have bought him back, so it's hard to say.
It's fun though. Hey, I tell you, I liked it.
I want to know, since his buddy's going hard on Masvidal, does he consider then Colby an elite level fighter? Because if he says Masvidal's not, that's what I'm saying. I feel as though for the money and especially the betting line the way it is, it might maybe worth tossing a couple bucks on Jorge. He
Oh,
definitely
dude,
has
it's totally
a
worth
chance.
tossing
Right.
some money
So-
on Jorge.
Yeah.
It's totally worth putting some money on
Masvidal
Jorge,
right
but
now,
here's
Masvidal to win by knockouts plus 400 right now.
fuck yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take them odds because if he wins, that's how he's gonna win.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah,
right?
more than likely.
I mean, let's be honest. If you were to ask anybody on the street if Masvidal is going to beat Colby Covington, how's he going to do it? Knock him the fuck out.
Right.
That's going to be the answer you get. Now, to answer your question, you asked, "Is Colby Covington? Do I see Colby Covington as an elite fighter?" I totally do, and here's why. Because outside of Kamaru Usman, I believe he's the number 2 best welterweight in the world. Period.
Yep.
I think he's a level below Kamaru Usman. Because yes, did he fight him tough both times? Sure. But the way Usman handled business this last time, I'm sorry, Colby, even if he wins this Masvidal fight, I feel like we'll have to fight the winner of shit. When is Leon Edwards getting his title shot? That's what the fuck I want to know.
You remember the pretty gruesome pictures that Dana posted of Kamaru Usman's hand just about a month ago now or something. So you got to give the champ
okay.
a
Well,
little
then
bit of
give the
time
champ
in
some
this
time
regard.
to heal. All right, I'm fine with that. But still, who the fuck gets the next shot? Is my point.
It's supposed to be Leon Edwards. The rumbles are that it's going to be International Fight Week, so that's what, July. So if that's the case, I'm not arguing with that. I feel like that's a good matchup for it. And so got to give the champ some time to heal up. So
let's get to some predictions. Bryce Mitchell got him some fucking camo shorts. Some fucking camo shorts.
Too. I ain't gonna lie.
That dude is a character, ain't he? I love that
dude,
guy.
Taking his media pictures in his straight up fucking knee-high boots and shit.
Oh my gosh.
He
look,
couldn't
bro,
have played into it anymore,
Dude, the thing is, though, that's what I was about to say, though. To me, bro, like, hey, call it wanting to hear a good story or whatever you want, but, dude, I don't think it's like a thing, man, because, like, the thing that stuck out to me was, dude, that guy is this. I feel like that guy would be the same guy if you met him at the airport as the same guy that's out there in the mud. Like the way he grabbed Greg Hardy and was like, "Hey man, like, I'm praying for your health. Hope you have a speedy recovery, brother." Blah blah blah. Like everybody that was going through the hospital. It's great to see people that are like just that are good spirited and project that, and that's just what you see. But what I want to talk about is this motherfucker can rap.
Have J-Bone as the music connoisseur here. Have you checked out the Bryce Mitchell country rap?
You know what? I'm gonna put that in rotation on the next show.
You got to.
I will, man. Me and my buddy Nate were talking about this today.
Bangers on it.
Dude he's not half bad. He ain't the worst.
People are checking in on Twitter. Corey _80. I asked, who do y'all want to see win this fight, or who do you think's gonna win this fight? And he says Colby, of course. Okay.
I think Colby. If Usman's not in the division, I think Colby's your champ right now. I mean, it's
not really an argument.
What surprised me the most, right? Like you guys said, you guys checked out the press conference and stuff. I don't know if you've made it to this point yet or not, J-Bone. But when they separated, broke the stage up, and they were just about to do the face-offs and stuff, the crowd was chanting Colby. I heard Colby more than I heard Jorge.
I heard both, but I heard that a lot too.
I heard Colby more than I heard Jorge, and I was genuinely surprised about that because I knew, like, he has tons of fans, for both good and bad reasons, right? Like,
right.
Some people just like the shit talk, and some people like his performances. I lean towards the latter, but it was genuinely surprising to me to hear how much the crowd was behind Colby. So maybe it is, no surprise, Colby, in a lot of these people's opinions, because it seems like the crowd's behind him.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's got any shot of finishing Masvidal?
Yeah.
Only by pressure's sake.
Mm-hmm. Like a ground and pound situation, maybe.
Maybe by punches, even it doesn't got to be on the ground, but I don't think if he finishes him, I don't think there's any way that he can finish him quick. I really don't. I don't think Colby has the power to do that.
I just imagine a lot of wrestling by him in this one. Like his pressure on wrestling could really work out for him on this one.
Hell yeah, Kathy, you made the better choice. She goes, I didn't watch it all. Shut it off, but she's still watching us. That's what I'm talking about.
I do not blame you, Kathy. It was an absolute shit show.
Yeah,
they were going back and forth, just throwing insults, not letting one another get any word in edgewise. So I can't blame you for tuning that one off. At least you won't hear us arguing on this.
This isn't your Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz type of press conference, that's for sure. Then you got Dana in the middle, just looking like a red cherry over there, looking back and forth like, Jesus, man. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know. They were
both Dana's just back there trying to look all jacked and shit. Like,
yeah. But to get back to where we were going with it all.
Wait, stop.
I feel as though this is for real a huge test for Bryce Mitchell, for him just to get thrown in against the likes of Edson Barbosa, man.
Yeah.
That is a for real fight in the featherweight division. And realistically, if Bryce Mitchell is able to pull this off, he kind of proves a lot of doubters wrong. And not that there's that many doubters.
At least the ringmaster of the shit show.
at least not in Vegas. There's not a lot of doubters because yet again, Bryce Mitchell coming in as a sizable favorite. Maybe want to throw some money on Edson Barbosa. Just saying, I am a Bryce Mitchell fan, but this is a big test, man. When you go from beating the likes of like Andre Feely, I think it was like a year and a half ago. You take such a big layoff due to partially injury and just, time off. And then you come back in and you face the likes of Edson Barbosa, even if he is kind of getting older and so on and so forth, it's still Barbosa, man. And if Bryce Mitchell isn't able to get him down, I feel.
Oh, if they're on the feet, bro, shit. Edson Barbosa is tough for anybody on the feet. Yeah. There you go. Uncle Chase, every time you come in here, you cause problems today. I mean, hey, if you want to come in, like I said, the door is wide open. I'm watching Shang-Chi right now, but for real, the main event should be a great fight. Both men are super overrated, though, and neither have beat a current top 10 guy. Not super interested, even as a hardcore fan. Damn. Really? Wow. Damn, you're not even interested in all the back and forth with you being a wrestling guy? Damn.
It's a bit steep, though. I mean, it's not even a title fight, dude. We're paying.
Oh no, it's definitely still expensive. I'm with that 100%.
But you could count what Masvidal did to Leon Edwards, that 3-piece and a soda, as a victory against a legit contender in the division. So I don't know.
Not official victory.
That's got to be on his Tapology, right? Like unofficial dub, like. But in all seriousness, this one's just being sold as a pay-per-view just because of the simple fact. You guys bring up all the
sell pay-per-views. I bet you it does better than some of the other ones.
Than a lot of them. I bet it does better than a lot of pay-per-views that have 2 title fights on it. But what I was going to get to is you guys all the time, you guys both being the wrestling guys, you guys always bring up the storyline, they never take enough time to build up, this story was so big and still is until Saturday, really, until we get to see how it plays out, that this was like everybody was clamoring for it to be the coaches are tough. They wanted to see how it played out over a long time. It's a real rivalry with some real tension. Like you can see it, even if it is just 2 guys like throwing jabs back and forth, in the press conference and shit. They do want to beat the shit out of each other, especially Jorge. You can see it.
I don't even care. I don't want to talk no more. I just want to punch him in the face.
They can't even get him. They can't even get him into a face-off position because
he's trying to kick him and
he's trying to kick him, and Colby's pointing his finger at him. Like, dude,
Colby's like, "Why are you so mad, Jorge? Why the fuck are you so mad?" He's like, "Because I don't fucking like you." Like, it was as basic and as upfront as you could get, but like
pretty much
on the nose, and that's the intensity that it brings. You guys bring up the storyline in wrestling all the time. That's why this one has earned its way into the main event of a pay-per-view slot. is the
Speaking of a guy
storytelling
that
involved.
knows storylines and knows what, brings in the green and puts asses in seats, Uncle Chase says he's hot with predictions right now, and he says he's got Masvidal.
Right.
Yep. I mean, you might not be wrong, dude.
I mean, he can knock him out for sure. That's why I'm saying if he wins, it's going to be by knockout. So if I'm betting on Masvidal, I'm betting on him to win and by knockout.
Yeah, one storyline I've only
write
seen.
that down. Look at what I'm doing over here. I'm putting
Check
together,
him out at Mr. Chainsaw. Shout out to Mr. Chainsaw.
It's not a pencil, but it's a marker. I'm gonna put
The
over
whiteboard?
here when we talk on Saturday. We're gonna have this official knockouts and 3 counts main card parlay. Okay, we're gonna put it up on Twitter. Somebody's gonna win a bunch of money, and then you guys are all gonna buy T-shirts with the money. So every time you guys make a prediction, I'm writing it down over here. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Well, one thing I feel as though before we do start making actual predictions and stuff, and while we're still,
I thought we were.
Well, we're talking about the main event still, right? That was the last sentence that was talked before the whiteboard. One thing I feel as though that hasn't been brought up. It has been in a couple of outlets and stuff, but not enough. I feel as though I need to shine a light on it. Should I say? Is Jorge has never suffered a KO knockout in his career until his last fight.
Until Usman,
you know, I don't see.
But
Jorge.
Usman proved that he's got legit crack. I don't think Colby Covington.
I'm not saying like, oh, now his chin or something like that. I'm just saying, are we going to see the same aggression and stuff? I don't feel as though Jorge is the type that something like that's going to affect him long term into his career or something. I feel as though he should be able to bounce back with his, with just the mentality he brings into the octagon. But that being said, I mean, that's real. Like, you've seen it like completely fuck people's careers when they suffer that first KO loss. So thoughts, guys, thoughts.
No, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you.
I don't think
especially considering that was his last fight, right? So for that to happen 2 times in a row or suffer something like that twice in a row, his mental is different right now. It's either going to be shit. It's either going to be shit and it's going to happen. He's going to suffer from it. He's going to get his ass whooped, or he knows what not to do now and how not to let that happen, and he's going to work against that. So, I mean, it's hard. Like I said, as we said in the beginning, it's a freaking coin flip, if you ask me, in that sense, man. You don't know which Jorge Masvidal you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I think the reason why that doesn't necessarily affect him so much in the fight, and those of you guys who are watching, do you think the fact that he got knocked out is really going to affect him? I don't know, man. So normally I would say a knockout definitely affects a guy. But in this case, I really don't know that it will affect him, only in that I don't think Colby has the power to knock him out. And secondly, I believe that how motivated it's made Masvidal is going to keep him in the right mind frame for it. Now,
dude's nickname is fucking Game Bread, right? Like, so a knockout that's going to stop him, Like,
that's why I'm saying. So, I mean, even if he gets caught, I feel like the motivation is going to put him there for this fight. Now, if he loses this fight again, Jorge's going to have to, stick to these high money fights. But I mean, I'm sure he's getting paid. I mean, if you paid attention to the press conference, he said he's getting pay-per-view points. Colby Covington isn't. So,
and even though he had many fights left on his deal, I think it was still like 4 fights or something.
They just re-signed a new deal.
Yeah, they just signed a new deal going into this fight. So he's going to be, I believe they said he's in like the top 3, active fighters for pay. Which, if that's the case, that's wild. I mean, with all the people that are in the UFC.
But you got to remember, it's who draws, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Don't get me wrong; he deserves a nice fat paycheck, but it is wild to think that he's one of the few non-champs earning not only pay-per-view points but such a high contracted amount.
Well,
good for him and his manager. Right?
I mean, here's the thing, dude. It's the same argument that you have to give with Conor, bro. And like we were talking about this too. When you really think about it, as much as I hate to say it, with the state of what 155 is really about to be at, especially if Poirier goes up to welterweight, if it's timed correctly, Conor McGregor could go right back in for another title fight.
They're already talking about it.
But that's my whole point, though. Like, and the thing is, if we're talking about money wise, if we're talking about purely the reason why motherfuckers are coming to watch this fight, Conor McGregor is going to make more money than anybody.
Yes.
And even if you don't like it, at a certain point, that's how the cookie crumbles. G. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't get paid more money as a champion, but when you match up, like,
it's about putting ass in seats.
Well, right. And what I was going to say
right.
is when you look at it like this, like, okay, so it's one thing to say, like, a guy like Masvidal, right? Who, like, okay, yes, he's lost a couple fights. So is Conor, but he's not fighting. He's already been beaten twice by the world champion. So is Conor. But the thing is, bro, no matter what arena it's in, look down the list of top pay-per-views for the UFC. Conor McGregor's name, if I'm not mistaken, is in at least 5 of the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have to fight his way back up. I mean, quite frankly, I've said this for a long time. If Conor McGregor loses again, dude, what the fuck? It's like, I feel like at every fight we're saying that. But then again, I mean, is it safe to say that Conor McGregor might be approaching Nate Diaz territory? Because Nate hasn't won a ton of fights either.
I would say even more so, but in the same realm, right? Because in my opinion, if Nate would have won that fight against Leon, he would have been.
Oh no, shit, he should have been,
no doubt.
Yep.
So, but Dana's kind of been asked about it because the rumbling started to come out that Conor's going to step in. The timing kind of works out and everything, and. Honestly, as much as I'm not like the world's biggest Conor fan, I rooted against him hard in his last couple fights, facing Dustin and such. But I could definitely see it happening. Especially if Charles Oliveira is able to get the victory over Justin in his next fight. That if he beats Gaethje, I could definitely see it happening. Just because the simple fact, Islam, if he would have took the fight with RDA, got the victory this weekend after coming out on social media and talking all that shit about wanting to fight him and the matchup that never happened, this, that, and the other, and then for him to step back and not take the fight behind the scenes. Dana White came out publicly and said, well, all right, well, we're going to wait for Dariush then, and we're going to run that matchup back. So what that tells me is they're already kind of setting their ducks in a row. That was, in my eyes, the clearest number one contender behind Gaethje. And they're now saying for sure he's getting another fight against somebody who's coming off a broken leg. So it's not like he's going to be back next week or something and they're going to run this back, in a month.
Well, it looks like Dana's pissed that he said he was going to step in and didn't. And
yeah.
I mean,
for good reason, right? If you talk that shit, be about that shit.
Well, especially when Khabib is coming out saying that if Conor beats Islam, then Khabib would come back to fight him.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking a whole lot of cash. I mean, and all of you guys who are watching, what do you guys think in this situation? And then we're gonna run down our picks after this.
And another thing that Dana said when he was approaching this topic, I guess you could say, is that Charles Oliveira has a lot of say in this, right? Like, he's the champ. He defended it. Now, what will be twice if he beats Gaethje, put in that amazing fight against Chandler to win the belt. He has some say so against who he wants to face, and I would imagine with the payday that's presented, if he's fighting the likes of a Conor McGregor, that's the route he would want to go. I mean, it would make the most sense, and dollars, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yo, appreciate all you guys joining the stream. Let us know who you're picking for UFC 272. You got Colby Covington, you got Jorge Masvidal. It seems pretty unanimous over here. We're all going with Colby Covington, but that being said, with the odds on Masvidal, I am not opposed to throwing a few dollars on game bread. All right. Well, we were talking about Bryce Mitchell and his camo shorts versus Edson Barboza. I don't know, man. I like Edson Barboza, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the young buck. Like I said, I just really like his energy.
Ballsy.
I'm going with Bryce Mitchell. He's gonna catch him a catfish, catch him a dub on Saturday.
Hey, and he's the slight favorite too for this fight. So
it's not even slight, if I'm not mistaken. It was like minus 200 or some shit.
Right now, minus 170.
Okay, so it's went down. Yeah,
it went down a little bit. So yeah. He's got a chance. So But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you're chasing the money, Barbosa would be the way to
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean? So
Well, I mean, a Barbosa fight's only going to go one of two ways. Either they're going to take him down and hold him down, or it's going to be a barn burner.
right. But
Yeah,
I'm with you on that, Kyle. I think Bryce Mitchell's going to get that one. And
ooh.
I hope when he cuts his little promo, he does a little rap for us. It'd be dope.
Dude, that guy can fucking rap.
I'd love to see it. He just rips the mic out of Joe Rogan's hand and just spits.
He spits like he drops it.
But no, in all honesty, with this one, man, I am so like indecisive on this one. This is one of my fights I've been looking forward to the most. I would have personally loved to see it as a 5-rounder, as a main event of a fight night, more so myself, just to further prove is Bryce Mitchell ready. He's garnered the fanfare, in my opinion. Let's see, but either way, this is a real test against somebody that is far more proven against, higher level competition. And
it's going to be a step up. We're going to figure out if he's ready or he's still got to move.
Well, I don't know if it's a step up as much as it is like a whole floor up, like from his level of competition before. And that's what worries me the most. You guys both kind of confidently seemed like you picked Bryce, and I feel as though that's not the case in my opinion. I want Bryce to win, but I feel like Edson Barbosa may be able to get this one done, man. I really do.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not doubting Edson Barbosa at all. I just think that the wrestling pressure of Bryce Mitchell is going to carry him in on that. And that, for me, that's the deciding factor. For any of you guys watching, who are you guys picking in this fight? You like Bryce Mitchell in the camo shorts? Here, since clearly people are listening, since our episode from earlier this week with Joel Bateman, you got Joel Bateman versus Tommy Vendetta, and then Tommy Vendetta was on the week before that. I think that's what I'm going to watch tonight. I got Belair to watch still, and then after that, I think I might have to go check out the rest of RPW and Mr. Chainsaw, or not Mr. Chainsaw. It was RPW, and I'll watch Mr. Chainsaw as well. But RPW and ICW No Holds Barred. Again, shout out to Randy West and Schwartzy. I was on Wake and Bake with Schwartzy this morning. That was quite the experience. Like I said, maybe we'll have to run into him in Texas. But all right, we made our picks on that fight. The next fight we got on the docket, you've got Marina Rodriguez versus Jan. I don't know how the hell to say it. Yeah, there you go. Look at Corey pulling out the names. Hot damn it. There you go. Well, who do you got in this one since you know her name so well? Do you got Marina Rodriguez, or do you got Shonan?
To give you the quick and short, yes, I have Marina Rodriguez, just because she has been on such a hot streak. I do not understand how this fight is not on the main card when you have like the likes of Greg Hardy and Sergey Spivak on there. So it kind of is like,
I don't know. I don't see Greg Hardy on the CBS MMA article as far as the main card.
He's the opening to the main card is the last order I looked at.
Yeah, right. What I'm seeing, he's listed as the opening fight.
And in my opinion, Marina Rodriguez, coming off the decisive win in a main event in her last fight, deserves a little better, in my opinion. But
not mad at that at all.
That being said, I feel as though this is going to be another showcase, man. Xiaonan is more of a striker. She doesn't usually implement her grappling too much. She tries to stand and implement the more, Asian style, not Muay Thai necessarily, but, striking dominant attack. And I feel like Marina Rodriguez, with the length and just her ability to out-punch people, man, she's been able to beat all these girls to the punch so far. And I feel like we're going to see another example of that come Saturday.
And J-Bone, where are you at on this one? I could agree, man. I mean, how do you say it again? Shonan? She's dangerous though. I mean, I'm looking at her past fights, dude. Besides her very last fight, she lost. I'm seeing, from what I see, she won that 6 in a row. Mm-hmm. So she's got a chance. But like absolutely. I said, if we're doing safe money here, I'm taking Rodriguez as well. So.
You ain't been on the show long enough to know scared money don't make no money.
That's not on the main card, correct?
No,
correct.
It's crazy to me.
Okay. So we got some prelim fights to bet
on. That's honestly, if you're not even considering buying the pay-per-view for this fight, There is some bangers on the pay-per-view. There's so many top-level talent fighters, even if you may not.
You mean on the prelims?
Yeah, that's what I say on the pay-per-view twice.
Yeah.
On the prelim, on the prelims, and both the
if you don't want to buy the pay-per-view, there's going to be a banger on the pay-per-view.
It's funny what carts make you say, you know. No, but that being said,
blame it on the cart. Okay, Riddle.
There's some bangers on the pay-per-view and early prelims. Yet again, did it again twice. But
I know you were thinking about the bud tender. I was too.
It's been a long day. All right, we've done 2 shows today. It's been a long day.
I'll take any excuse I can get up to this point.
Hey man, I'll go with it. Like I said, I think Marina Rodriguez gets this one done. I think she's more superior on the feet. I think it'll be a good fight. I'm surprised it's not on the main card, but I'm also going with Rodriguez, so I'm in the same boat as you guys on that one. All right. Now, the first fight that they've got here on the main card, according to UFC.com, you've got Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy. Look, man, Greg Hardy is a hell of an athlete. I can't get with Greg Hardy because it's too much BS for me. So in this one, I'm gonna make it short, sweet, and to the point. I'm going with Spivak.
Yeah, he's starting to really play into like the heel role. Like I feel as though he's
got to win to make that heel role work.
I feel as though he thought though that maybe the MMA community would like get over the accusations and stuff from the beginning and stuff and so on and so forth. And that was never the case, right? Like to your point, Kyle, I just can't get behind him. And it's just been something that's followed him throughout his whole career.
My problem is just his excuses with the fighting, though. It's not even so much the shit outside the cage.
Really? Like what? Like Inhaler Gate? Or what are we talking?
My thing is like, look, dude, you were an NFL athlete, right? Which means you're one of the top 1% athletes in the world, and you have had the top fucking coaches around you for how many years teaching you how to be an athlete. Mm-hmm. Why are you as a heavyweight of all things in such shitty shape?
You think he's in bad? Like,
he's not
cardio wise.
Yes,
cardio wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. There's no reason that you're a pro football player and his cardio is that shitty, especially when it's happened in multiple fights.
There would be an excuse, in my opinion, coming off of his NFL stint because the way the NFL works, right? It's short bursts of 30 at 5-10 seconds. A long play may run 20 seconds in the NFL. So it's short bursts, right? So I could understand where he was getting tired. He was going in there trying to knock dudes out, trying to get it done within the first, minute.
And I get that, and that's part of heavyweight fighting in some way.
But at this stage in his career, I completely agree with you. When it's been showcased that is your flaw, right? You go in there, you try to knock people out, you get gassed past the 2-minute mark, 3-minute mark, and then you'll come into the next couple rounds with the initial burst because you had the minute of rest time, but other than that, you're just dead for the rest of the round. And you would think with the level of training and the level of people around him, he's training at a great gym and so on and so forth, that he would improve on that stuff. But I genuinely just think it's his size, man, his body shape and his mass and stuff.
It could be, and some people just have a hard time with it.
He's cutting significant weight too to make the UFC heavyweight limit of 265. So that being said as well, I mean, all that being factored in is still not an excuse necessarily, in my opinion. If you're a professional athlete and this is your chosen sport, you got to be able to do the things that are
especially been it that long now.
Yeah, but that being said, short and sweet. I think Greg Hardy still kind of knocks him out though, because I think Sergey Spivak's gonna struggle with the power that Greg Hardy presents.
Then it's a very possible thing, and I wouldn't put anything past that for sure. Hello, Lily.
Hey, they say hi. Okay, in a second. Just give me a second. Big important stuff.
That's our cue. We got 2 fights left, motherfuckers. So, like I say, this next fight, you talk about making weights. We got a guy who's going down to 170, which I think might actually be his better weight class, but we're gonna have to see how he does. You got Kevin Holland versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira, who is just tough as fuck.
Yep. And talk about it, just a fun fight, right? Like, there's a reason why this one's on the pay-per-view and it's in it for a lot. Even with Alex Oliveira coming off a couple losses, he's still the Brazilian Cowboy.
It's still a tough test for Kevin Holland at 170.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still has a ton of respect in my book, and I know in a ton of other fight fans, book as well. But that being said, it kind of plays perfectly, in my opinion, at least, to Kevin Holland's style. Cowboy is not going to go in there trying to look to take him down too much, at least in my opinion. That's never really what he's presented in fights in the past. He's slick with submissions, but that's one thing that Kevin Holland is good at, is he's good at submissions. So even if the fight does go down, I feel like their jiu-jitsu may be able to counteract each other. And I feel as though with the size advantage that Kevin Holland now has moving down weight classes, he may be able to kind of look slick out there with the range advantage and stuff that it brings. I feel like this is a good fight for Kevin Holland to move down weight classes. But with that being said, Cowboy definitely brings a lot of challenges, but I still am going the other way on this one.
All right, J-Bone, who you got?
I'm with you, man. I'm a big fan of this guy. Big mouth. I love it, dude. I was watching highlights earlier of him, man. That dude, highly entertaining guy. But like you said, he's a big dude, and his reach is going to be something to look at too.
And he hits hard and can take a punch.
And he hits hard, and cutting that weight down, he's going to be strong, man. So I think he's going to win this one. I think he's going to win by knockout. So.
Yep, that's what either that or submission is what I would imagine. I imagine it's a finish one way or the other, but yeah, I agree.
I think Oliveira is going to be tough. I mean, he's not going to be somebody he's going to put away easy. He's got a chin and he hits hard and he knows how to fight on his feet. I think it'll be a good test for Kevin Holland at 170 for sure. But I'm going to go with Kevin Holland in this one, but I still am kind of holding the jury out to kind of see how he does with the weight first. All right, the last fight we got on here, obviously we went a little bit out of order, but you got Rafael Dossanos versus Hanato Moycano now. What are your thoughts on Moycano stepping up to come fight Rafael Dossanos that quick? I mean, that's a big fucking...
And Andy was coming off that match just a couple weeks ago, so it's not like he wasn't, already maybe, dealing with some injuries coming off the fight and such. And for him to step in, take, really close to the contracted original weight of 155, it's now at 160, which for a catch weight, it doesn't get much closer, 5 pounds. That's pretty close to the original weight class. That being said, Moycano presents some challenges, but I feel as though if you're RDA and you're RDA's camp, this is a win. This is a win for you guys. You still got to go in there and perform, right? You still got to go in there and actually get the win. But this is definitely an easier opponent. You maintained the slot on the pay-per-view. Shout out Moycano for taking the fight and allowing it to still be 5 rounds, which is crazy in my opinion with such short notice. But
before you go, what was the short notice? How long did he take this fight for?
He just fought 2 weeks ago.
He just fought 2 weeks ago, and then not only that, he accepted the fight Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And he was in Brazil when he accepted the fight. So
but remember, his body's still just coming out of a camp too, though.
Yeah, but you know how fighters are, man. Then 2 weeks after, it don't take long for some of these guys to swell up. And Moycano is not a small guy. I don't know how he made featherweight for so long. He looks a lot bigger than a lot of the 55ers in their height and lengthwise. So he might even be bigger than RDA, honestly. Like when I didn't see him face off yet, but he might honestly be bigger than RDA. So either way, though, I feel as though RDA is going to be able to get this one done. He may be able to grind him out both on the feet and on the floor. But Moycano's got some slick power and some slick ground game. So it wouldn't be a shock to me if Moycano's able to pull it off, but I favor RDA in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think RDA is going to be too tough of a test, but I disagree with you when you say that this, if with it being RDA, you know, that you just look at it as a win, in the sense that Moycano has nothing to lose. Like, this is going to be like a huge step up against a former world champion. If he loses, you could just say, well, RDA did his job. Now, if RDA goes in there and gets caught by this kid, it's going to fuck his shit up, man. I'm telling you, I think RDA's got a lot more to lose in this fight than people think is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying I think he beats Moycano, but I'm just saying, let's not forget, Moycano is basically getting a free step up here. And if he wins, he doesn't lose anything. If RDA loses, he goes down a ways down the line.
And a big thing of this too, right, is RDA, like you say, he's got way more to lose in my opinion. But the reason why I say it's a win if you're his camp and stuff is because I feel as though the Rafael Fiziev fight was a tougher.
Oh, totally a tougher fight.
Yeah, so that's why I say the you know, it's a win if you're the camp, is because I feel as though.
Oh yeah, is it a little bit easier opponent? Sure, but I think now there's also a little more pressure in a way too, because you're almost, I don't want to say expected to win, but he's kind of expected to win. So I don't know, man.
That's a very true point. That's a very true.
J-Bone, who do you got in this one, bro?
I'm taking RDA too, man. It's just it's too close of a turnaround for me. I mean, I know sometimes those fighters, you know, they can stretch that, but like you say, man, like you just don't know where he's at right now. I mean, props to him for taking the fight. I mean, you gotta be a ballsy motherfucker, especially against a guy of RDA's caliber, but
a former world champ, dude.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna be too much for him on this particular night, man. So I'm taking RDA.
I mean, Moycano is not somebody to mess around with. He's only gotten beat by the like top level guys, you know, so it's going to be a tough one, man. You know, it's going to be a tough match still, but I think RDA will be able to pull it off.
It's going to be a tough match for sure. Like I say, me, J-Bone, and Corey hopefully will be getting together for UFC 272. I know Corey will be with me for AEW Revolution Sunday as well. We got a lot of shit going on this weekend. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of blood.
Before we go, I've been tracking you guys' picks. Just I don't know if you see me over here with not the pedenzel, the marker. I can't think of a cool name.
That needs to be the next shirt. Maybe the black and white shirt that everybody's calling for. I'll get me a pedenzel shirt.
So if you take Kyle's parlay for tonight's picks right now, you got plus 763. You throw a solid $20 on that, you're winning $172 if you hit it.
Fuck yeah! Now let me do that.
All right. Now take Corey's parlay. Slightly different, just by 2 fights, plus 2282. You throw a 20 on that,
shit,
you're winning 476 big bucks, baby. Now you take my parlay because I switched one. I wasn't going to tell you guys, but I switched from Colby.
Look at this son of a bitch cheating. He's got the potential, the marker board, and all that shit.
He wants that money line.
If you're chasing the cash, man, you need to be hitting up the homies from G3 Payroll Tax. Shout out to the homies, Jack over there, G3 Payroll Tax, our sponsor again for the month of March. Like I said, get your taxes done.
Plus 22.95 if you take my parlay. Throw a 20 on that, you're winning $479.
Might be worth
that kind of money. You win that kind of money, all you got to do is buy some knockouts and 3 counts t-shirts, man.
Hell yeah, get you one.
We're making some money around here.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm gonna get me next though, dude? It's 2 shows and errands and all that stuff. It's time for my fat ass to eat. I'm gonna watch probably Bel Air, and again, I might have to go back and recheck out RPW and ICW because I kind of passed out through the middle of them. And yeah, dude, like I said, a lot of shit to talk about, a lot of shit to see. So you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button so you know what you can see come Tuesday, 9 p.m. Make sure you're following those social medias at KO3C Pod so that you know who will be joining us this Tuesday. And hey, I heard BCWA is coming back, so you never know who you might see in that box. And again, make sure you check out today's episode with TZ Jones as well. If you're in the area for AEW Revolution, check out the Fan Fest. And yeah, man. Peace, love, chicken grease, all that stuff. Yeah, man. Peace.